I'll tell you this much. I was not ready for this at all. I was busy. I was doing something completely different, and then suddenly I go on Twitter like I always do. Even when I'm busy, I just go on Twitter. It's like it's my unhealthy obsession that I just always have to be on Twitter at least once an hour, and I've got like 5 different Twitter accounts. So I didn't even go on my football one, but I still see this on my newsfeed. I'm like, what? Let me hop on my football one just to see that this isn't MiaSanMiaTV and it's MiaSanMiaTV. And it was the right account, and it's breaking news from Fabrizio Romano. Bayern are heavily considering sacking Julian Nagelsmann with immediate effect and are looking to replace him with Thomas, the GOAT, Tuchel. Daniel, what are your thoughts immediately? Just hit me with them. Hit me, as the Joker would say. Hit me.
Okay, I had doubts about Nagelsmann. I didn't think they would sack him just because of how far we are into the season.
Yep.
If he goes, he's gone. As long as I see Zizou, I'm happy. No Tuchel, no 3 at the back.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
No Tuchel.
Tuchel is the GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. The greatest of all time.
Nah, I'm done with this 3 at the back haram ball. Give me some Zizou. UCL's 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row.
Of course, we've got Nagelsmann fans in here as well, which should be fun. What are your thoughts on this NL2? I can't hear him right now, so you know what? I'll just tell you my thoughts, Daniel. I'm happy. I mean, I've been Nagelsmann's biggest. I can't even say his biggest critic. I feel like I've been a critic, but I've not even been his biggest critic because there's been people that have been significantly bigger critics of Nagelsmann than I have. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, is this the right time? I've wanted him sacked for such a long time, but now I feel like it's too late. You should have done this.
Bild confirmed it. Bild confirmed it.
He's sacked?
He's sacked. Bild confirmed it.
Yes!
Wait.
What is going on? Yeah, so breaking news from Bild officially. Like before, they were just saying that they've heard rumors. Now they're coming out with a statement saying, breaking, Julian Nagelsmann has been sacked with immediate effect. I am waiting for Pletty. Like, where is Pletty in all this? Usually he's on the ball. Patrick from AZ is saying, for the new season, is Tuchel really an option? Bayern, I hate translating on the fly. Let me just use the Google Translate button and do it like that. For the new season, Tuchel is actually an option. FC Bayern should be faster than Real Madrid. If preliminary talks were actually held and have now come to light, Nagelsmann would have to be sacrificed immediately because otherwise it would become a lame duck. Basically, it would become a non-issue. Wow. It still feels like it's all a big scam, says Bayern Talente. Which I very much, it just, because it's happened so quickly, it just feels so crazy.
Hollywood FC back again.
Hollywood FC back again. Tuchel happening before Manchester City and Dortmund feels horrible idea. Can Tuchel and Bayern quickly adjust? I very much agree with that. That is my issue. Sacking Nagelsmann should have happened earlier. We've been playing. I mean, look, there's a reason you don't. Okay, there's 2 reasons you don't see many videos of me lately. Everyone knows I don't like doing rants every single week. All right, which is why if we just play bad every single week, you won't see me. I'll just dip and I disappear until we play good, so I can at least talk about the team positively. All right. The second reason you haven't seen me is because, well, I've not really been at home for most of the time. I've been in the hospital for a long time, so it is what it is. But I wouldn't have made videos anyway, even if I was at home. So that's good. But I've been hoping for him to get sacked for the longest, right? Because I always say play style is the most important. Play style is the most important. It is imperative that we play well. Because first and foremost, we need to entertain. That's the most important thing. My goodness. but it's just all the news coming out. Thomas Tuchel is the favorite to replace Julian Nagelsmann. My goodness. It's happening so quickly. I was busy. I am still busy. Daniel, just take it away from me, please, while I just think about it, because I just seen this news and I just immediately hopped into the stream without even like having a second to breathe.
I can't believe they sacked him just now, out of nowhere. I can't believe that. That's crazy. I think the transition, though, like, if they get Tuchel, I don't think the transition will be too hard because he plays the three at the back bullshit, too. I don't think it'll be that bad, but, oh, wow. Something had to have happened behind the scenes. There's no fucking shot that 3 weeks ago they said he's here for the long term. I think something for sure happened after Leverkusen, something behind the scenes. And if they were going to sack him, they were going to do it during the international break. But I thought they would give him to like City or Dortmund, but something had to have happened. There's just no way.
You know, in my mind, there are two options right now. Two options. One, turns out that he was the mole. That's the one thing I can think of, that he is the mole. And I know people were joking about it because of obviously his girlfriend and whatnot, being a former Build employee. But that's the first thing. That's the first option. Or the second one is that there was a team meeting between, like, you know, the quote-unquote senior council. What do they always call them? Like the council members or something?
Yeah, senior council, yeah.
Yeah. And I think they just said, you know what? This isn't going well. Like we're not playing well at all. He's not really reaching us anymore, anything of that sort. Or it could be a third option, and it's just the club looked at it and was like, you know what? We brought in all these youngsters, and they're not really getting opportunities. Let's bring in someone that should be easy to, you know, integrate and implement into our plans, and is actually able to play youngsters, which Tuchel is obviously known for.
Yeah, I don't think it can be the second one though, right? Because they all went on international break right after Leverkusen, right after the Leverkusen game. So there was no time for them to talk with the leaders in person. It could have been like online, but I doubt it.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, because like I'm sure they must have some sort of connection, like private chat rooms or anything of that sort, where they can talk to like. Here is the biggest happiest second I read that news. I'm the happiest person in the world right now.
Oh God. I'm coming.
What your thoughts are. I knew he, like, the second I saw that news, because he's been campaigning for it even before this season. He's been campaigning for it for the longest, every single time. And I only got on the bandwagon this season. So, Carl, let us know what your thoughts are.
Yo, Bayernfantv, I'm hip.
How you doing?
I'm hip. I'm hip. I'm hip. You know, like, bro, I don't know what to even, because, you know, the thing is, I was watching my country play Ghana. So I was watching my country, and it was just dreadful. Like I'm watching play like Dennis Odoi, Naki, and all that. So I was like, my goodness, I can't believe I have to go back to watching Nagelsmann football after the break. Like this is how painful it is. And then I saw, like, I'm in this football group chat with a bunch of other guys, different football fans. And then one Atletico friend of mine's, he posts it on Fabrizio Romano posts it, and then I start singing celebration time, come on. Then I was dancing like this. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness. So this shows me there is an intent that we are coming in this season. I think this is my thing. I understand that is a little time for Tuchel to adapt to the team, but we're going to play Man City. Now, one thing I will say is he doesn't have too much time to work with the players, but the first correction that he can do is he can bench Upamecano. Upamecano is no. I'm serious. I'm serious. Nagelsmann has gotten the even-keeled player. That guy who doesn't plays like a headless chicken. He's gotten even killed, and because he's such a Nagelsmann favorite, he cannot bench him. But now that Tuchel has come in, Tuchel can bench him. You get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yep.
You understand what my drift is. Sometimes there's certain games Musiala should not even be playing, but you play him. That why you understand what I'm trying to say? There's certain games that Sane should not be playing, but he'll play him. But the thing is, I really do think he'll get the best out of Sane, number one. And I think number two, he'll get the best out of Musiala. He might not play the young players, fine. And I don't mind him not playing the young players. But he will do really well. And thank God for Thomas Muller, Bayernfantv. Thank God. Because I strongly believe it is Thomas Muller who was driving this sacking thing. It's not I did my part in DMing Oliver Kahn and Brazo and all of them, and I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I just saw what you sent them.
Yeah, I DM'd them. I told them it's time. Let's get rid of him. So I did my part. But Thomas Muller was also part of it. Thomas Muller benching him in certain games, it doesn't make any sense now. And I said this in my post match in the Leverkusen game, Bayernfantv. If you watch my channel, I said we need a manager bounce. We need a manager bounce. If we want to win these next couple of games, we need a manager bounce. Thank God that Tuchel will be our truly, truly new Bayern manager. I am so honored, Thomas Tuchel, to have you as our manager. I am so tired of these Bayern fans who say, "Oh, he's not the right manager. He's not." No, I am objective. Listen, Bayern fan TV, I watch Bayern every single day. I wake up at 9:30 a.m. DMV time to watch Bayern. And the painful part is that we draw against teams like Cologne. We draw against teams like Hoffenheim and these types of teams. And when we lose to these types of teams like Leverkusen, I'm sitting at my back and saying, why are we losing to these guys? We're much better than that. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Enjoy
He had to leave.
my friend. Enjoy your victory.
Yes, he had to leave. Like, come on, bro.
Let's introduce Samusi. Samusi, what are your thoughts on the news that Nagelsmann is being sacked? All the newspapers are saying it. Just before I give the room to you, let me just say this. According to George Holzner, who's a reporter for Kicker, Tuchel is set to sign his Bayern contract tomorrow or the day after. Samasi, your floor.
This is the wrong decision. This is absolutely the wrong decision. We have crucial weeks. The Classica is coming. We're gonna play Man City. We're not gonna win them. Tuchel has not the time to implement his gameplay. So why sack him now? And Nagelsmann, we lost just 3 games. We lost just 3 games, and you sack him now? At this moment, it's the wrong decision. It's the wrong timing. I don't know what's wrong with our board that is sacking right now. So we're not gonna win anything this season. I can guarantee it. And congrats to Ko. Congrats to you. I'm so mad at this decision. I'm so mad.
Kiss me, baby. Kiss me, baby.
But it does bring an interesting point because we have played against Dortmund in probably the most important game of the season. So this is a statement. Like, this is a statement that, like, it doesn't even matter. Like we're getting Tuchel, and then, you know, we're looking for that new manager bounce, and then, like, you know, after that game, we can then continue fine tuning. Now, Milan Gasic brings up the question, like, what happens if we fail to win a title this season? My answer to you is this. Nagelsmann would have gotten sacked if we failed to win this title this season, regardless of what all the newspapers were saying before today, because they were all saying, it doesn't really matter, you know, it's whatever. Yeah, well, we've clearly seen that was a lie.
We all knew if we don't win the Bundesliga, he's getting sacked. So just
absolutely. But, like, if you're losing the Bundesliga to Dortmund, you deserve to get sacked. Now, the thing is with Tuchel, yes, he may not win the Bundesliga because, again, the game against Dortmund is the key here. But by the time the Manchester City game comes around, he'll have at least gotten a team somewhat under control. I'm not saying it'll be like 100% in his image, but he'll have gotten it somewhat under control. So I think this is a sign for me personally. Like maybe I'm just biased here, right? Because Nagelsmann, I didn't feel like he played the youngsters enough. He played Stanisic a lot, which I'm happy about. But like I didn't think he played the youngsters enough. And like I said before, we probably have the deepest squad we've ever had. Maybe not the best squad, but by far the deepest squad. And we're not utilizing it really. Like in midfield, as we've been saying the whole time, it's Kimmich and Goretzka. No one else is playing there. Sabitzer goes off to United, and look, he's performing well. Gravenberg, Bayern have said that they're not selling him. So what are you going to do if Nagelsmann doesn't play him? You know, it's kind of we've invested a lot of money.
Gravenberg, justice for him.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
He's such a good talent and doesn't get any play time. That's wrong from him.
Just who else is this could be justice for? I'm just saying, a certain young Austrian German that signed a pro contract last year after all the hype after one game and then never got to see another minute of game time again. A certain Vanna. Just saying. We
could get him.
But obviously, like all the reports are saying Tuchel. All of them are saying Tuchel.
No, it's confirmed, bro. It's confirmed. Like there's no backtracking.
His contract.
Tomorrow.
It's confirmed, bro.
Yeah,
it's confirmed.
Fabrizio Romano literally a minute ago said Thomas Tuchel is the new FC Bayern head coach. Full agreement reached. Contract agreed documents are being prepared tonight.
Dude, why? This is crazy.
Huya. Hey. Don't say why. I got justice. Look, I got justice.
For what? I can't believe this.
He deserved it. He should be gone.
Not at this stage, though.
I mean, let's be honest. If you had to back a manager to beat City, Tuchel or Nagelsmann, 100% of the time you go Tuchel. So I'm for it.
But we've been excellent in the Champions League. Like, I wasn't scared for City at all.
We haven't faced a good team in the Champions League.
Man City hasn't either.
Could be right. Yeah, sure.
Man City are finding their form at the moment, and we lost to Leverkusen. That's all I'm saying.
Damasi, be real. Is a 7-0 against Leipzig that big of a deal? Like, we know those guys. They will just have a brick day on the defense one day.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I watched their Premier League games. That's why. They're finding their form. They're finding Erling Haaland. That's why.
Bruh, this is just crazy.
I agree with you. It is crazy because of how quick.
I read the tweet that he heard of the rumors that he's getting sacked. And the next tweet was,
let me say something.
That he was
let me say something. Yeah. Let me say something. Bayernfantv, let me say something. Every single time we hear a tweet from Bayern that says confirmed this player has signed or this manager has been sacked, Build is 100% on it. They're very reliable.
Yeah. They have their plus story, a Build plus. It is
plus story. 100%. When you see Fabrizio Romano confirm it too, that's 100%. So why would a Bayern fan think that, oh, we're gonna backtrack and say, oh, we're not gonna sack him? That's ridiculous.
Yo, 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Twitter kicked me out just now, but I am sorry. Do you know who just tweeted?
What?
Do you know who just tweeted?
Who?
It is everyone's favorite Twitter person, Nick Salihamidzic.
Oh, what did he say?
Exactly.
What did he say?
Exactly. Exactly.
Everyone's favorite Twitter person, Nick Salihamidzic.
Show me, yo, share it to me. Share it to me on Twitter, yo. Share it to me on Twitter.
I'll post it in the comments here, and I'll post it in the chat as well.
Oh, he just put the eyes emojis.
Yeah, I know. He's like, oh yeah, I know what's going on. I see y'all.
I'm a DM him. I'm gonna say, tell your dad to bring in.
I love you, Nick Salihamidzic. I love you, Nick Salihamidzic. I love you so much, man. Thank you so much for what you've done for me today, man. You made
Nick,
my
if you're watching Deep Down, you know Zidane is the guy. Get him.
If you play 5 at the back and Harambal with Tuchel, you have some explaining to do.
Look, all right. Everyone always talks about how bad Tuchel's style was at Chelsea. Nobody ever talks about how he had like the best style of any team ever at Dortmund. Where is the consistency? His Dortmund side played the most attractive football in world football. And that was even when we had Pep at Bayern. Like his Dortmund played an even better brand of football than we did under Pep. Nobody ever brings that up. Everyone always brings up Chelsea. Where they've had Werner in attack. Come on now, how is it supposed to play good football with Werner in attack?
And Kai Havertz too. That bum too is playing a top.
Exactly. Like, come on. This is gonna be Tuchel's revenge season. This is gonna be his comeback season. I can't wait. And Lima hasn't been announced yet. That's very much true. But I think that's a done deal. It's wrapped.
Okay, so the spy in the locker room, guys. The spy in the locker room is Thomas Muller.
Thomas Tuchel signed a 2.5-year deal with FC Bayern until summer 2025. Done deal. Di Marzio.
Di Marzio hasn't been great for like 5 years now. Like when I was like 18, that's when he was like on peak. When he had always the breaking news, but nowadays he's not. You know, he's not that credible anymore. I'm just wondering, where is Pletty in all this? Like, usually he's the first.
He's on vacation. He's on vacation.
This guy's in a beach or somewhere right now. Annoys me so much. But yeah,
how long has the board planned this? Because they asked for Tuchel doesn't. Because they have already.
Bro, how can they plan this when we beat PSG like that? I want to know what happened.
It's PSG.
No, you don't need to know what happened.
You can't.
Core happened. Core happened for you. Core happened.
Those were impressive. Those were impressive games. I don't know. I don't care what you guys say. That home game was impressive. So I want to know.
Let's be honest, right? And I said this during the first half at the home game. That was the worst performance in that first half that we've had all season. Then we come back in the second half and play our best half of all the season. So it's like we don't like people are always going to remember the second half because we scored 2 goals there. But based on the first half, we should have been down by 2 goals. But as I said, I think there are 3 reasons, two real reasons, and one I'm just tacking on. The first one is that Nagelsmann is the mole, and the club has found out. The second, honestly, I think that there's a lot of.
I think so. Yeah. You might be right. His
girlfriend is the mole. 100%.
Yeah, he's stating the former. Is he a former build reporter?
Yeah,
or
former
still
build.
A build reporter?
Former build.
Former build reporter. Right? Like, come on. You think and then Bill suddenly gets the news about a mole. That's not a coincidence. So I think either he's the mole, or 2, I think that like the internal council of the team came together and said, you know what, we need some changes, and we don't think that Nagelsmann is reaching us. Or 3, the club
it's
said,
Thomas Muller. It's Thomas Muller. He
said that, and there might be some truth to it, because do you know which players? Which players currently in Munich training? It's
Thomas Muller.
Is the mole.
I told you.
Has that power.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because Muller was bumping chest with him and like celebrating with him during the PSG game. Like,
but Muller does that with everyone.
I know, but no, he was like they were bumping chests like best friends. Like, I don't think. Come on, Muller. Come on, no.
Muller did that with.
But okay. So a coach, listen to this. Listen. A coach, all right, who starts you in the first half. When it's halftime, he decides to sub you off and bring in a youngster. Come on. You're telling me he's not going to have a problem with the coach? Of course he's going to have a problem with the coach. I mean, sorry. Breaking news. This time it is from the man on vacation, the man on the beach, Florian Plettenberg, who says... Plettenberg.
Yes, he's on the tomorrow.
There it is. And he's 100%. He's 100%. He's 100%. You cannot debate him because he's 100%. Once he posts it, it's over.
Yeah.
He said Tuchel? Wait, he said Tuchel for sure?
He said that Tuchel will become the new coach of FC Bayern in the next hours. Confirmed.
He was my last hope for Zidane. Fuck.
Nah.
God damn it.
It is Tuchel season.
don't-
I've won. We've won, Core. I know. Actually, no. I know you want it Zidane, but hey,
I don't want Tuchel. I wanted Zidane also.
I feel like people haven't watched Real Madrid under Zidane, but hey, I'm here for it. I want it. Tuchel. We got Tuchel. I'm here for it. Now we need to talk about players. Before we transition to players, I'm going to just quickly address this because I wanted to address this for like a bunch of time now, but we haven't really gotten to it. And that is that what confidence do the players have now? With the management constantly saying that, oh yeah, we 100% back Nagelsmann, but then they get rid of him like that. To me, the thing is, players and managers are different. You back your manager in public, but then you get rid of him immediately in silence. You can't do it with the players. That's not really a case. Like you look at Ancelotti when we lost to PSG, the club came out, during their dinner and said, you know what, it happens. We can lose, so on and so forth. The next day he was sacked. So it happened back then with Ancelotti. It's going to happen with other managers as well that we have, and it's just the way it's just the nature of football and sacking managers. Like you have to do it quickly because you have to react quickly. You can't just dilly-dally with that. Whereas with players, you can because it's all a form thing. Now, we need to talk about players. Which players are benefiting the most from Tuchel coming in and Nagelsmann getting sacked?
Yeah, bro. So listen, Sane, I think will be a player who will really impact from the likes of Tuchel. And then I see players like Thomas Muller, they'll get the best out of him. Goretzka will also get the best out of Thomas Tuchel. I look at someone like an Upamecano, he's going to be benched. I'm telling you this, guys, right now, he's going to be the player who will be benched. I cannot wait for this. Who else am I thinking about? Gnabry, you'll get the best out of him too. Mane. I think Mane is a key one. Mane is the one that I think he'll get the best out of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think, he'll do really well. Yeah. So yeah, that's mine.
It's very surprising that like during this week there was a lot of news about Mane and he hasn't really hit his form ever since his injury, so on and so forth, and he hasn't really delivered since we signed him, and then suddenly Nagelsmann is gone. I think that's that's a bit suspicious. Just saying. But yeah, CPZ is saying, so you're saying we're going to see terrorism football every week? Just joking. I like Tuchel. Hey, I'm glad you said you're just joking because I was about to give you a monologue, a 50-page thesis on why you are wrong, but I'm glad you're joking. So it's all cool. You know who else I think can benefit a lot from this? Gravenberg.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Finally, we're not playing the same midfield every single week.
Single game. Come on, bro.
Rick's habits are right now. He's going to get games.
Yeah. You know what, right? There was a report like last week that Sabitzer can imagine staying at United. I bet he's going to come back during the summer and he's going to stay. Even with Lima coming. I bet you that's going to happen now.
No more.
No. He's a United player.
No more Lima. He's not coming.
Nah, I think that deal is already wrapped up.
It's got. Oh, please! I hope they don't do it anymore.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I find it very unprofessional, disrespectful that Fabrizio knew before Nagelsmann that he's getting sacked. The board, the leagues, I'm so annoyed with the board right now. They need to go out and explain why they sacked him.
Debatable. The way I see it is, they've made the decision and then one member of the board, leaked it to the public because that's what they do. And they haven't had a chance yet to tell Nagelsmann, but he'll be at home right now, after he's got asked that, and I think he knows now for he started reading all that news and be like, that's fake news, and then comes into the tomorrow morning, he's like, hey, what's going on here? Like Talasif, just like, what's going on? Like he'll know by now.
If you want to be sacked, don't be a shit manager. So if he wasn't shit, he'd be in a job.
You see, the annoying thing is as well, right? I was giving him praise last week. For the first time ever, I was giving him praise. Because I was saying that, you know what, we're not playing well right now, but give it a few years. You know, the club clearly is invested in him. Give it a few years. And, you know, even though previous hierarchies at Bayern would have gotten rid of him already, give it a few years and then, you know, he's going to prove the world wrong. Well, I was wrong. The previous management is the same as this management. They're ruthlessly efficient, even though they took their time. I'm glad. I'm glad. Sané will suffer with Tuchel a lot. I mean, we've said that, you know, people have said here that Sané will thrive under Tuchel. What are your thoughts on this one, saying that Sané will suffer?
No, that's false because he's the one who developed Dembele and Pulisic, who are wingers. They developed so much under him. They played their best under Tuchel at Dortmund. Like, the wingers will be fine. Like Sané, Gnabry, Mane, they'll gain form under Tuchel, I think.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Of course, the Real Madrid shortlist, Tuchel and Pochettino. There was obviously a lot of rumors in regards to Tuchel going to Real Madrid because, well, Real Madrid do the thing that they always do, which is that they're absolutely awful. They're absolutely terrible. And then they still go on to win the Champions League. And I'm just like, how did this happen? But like, I think with Ancelotti being at, you know, the stage where he is and the team needing a renewal, I think Tuchel to them would have been a legitimate option, which is why we probably move quicker than usual. Bro, why are Bayern doing this? It's so annoying. It's because we've not been good. Like, the bottom line is, right, if you want to know anything, like all the agendas aside, all cause agendas aside, who's been, you know, Nagelsmann out for the longest. I know Hokage, who was here earlier, his agenda aside, who was obviously, you know, wanted Nagelsmann to stay, so on and so forth. All the agendas aside, the reason this is happening is because we've not been good enough. Like, that's the bottom line. We have not been good enough for this season. We've not been good enough last season, and people always want to like sweep that under the rug. I kind of do as well, because at the end of the day, you know, the way I always see it, you give a manager a full season. I think a manager needs like a winter and a summer camp to get their ideas across. And after that, if they're still not good, that's when I'm like, that manager needs to go. And it's been the case. We've not been good enough. Yes, you know, we win games. But as I always say, where is our defense? We can't keep a clean sheet to save our life. We're playing the same midfield week in, week out. We haven't improved. Yes, we're doing well in the Champions League, but because we haven't faced a truly great team. And it also shows you that it's only when the players are motivated that they can perform. The players aren't getting motivated by the coach and his coaching staff to get motivated for the regular games in the Bundesliga. And that is very worrying. But hey, the season is still long. And ultimately, the reason why he got sacked is, quite frankly, you know, we weren't good enough. That's the bottom line. Talasif, hey, the whole world being on fire. It's just a regular Thursday over here, mate. It's just a regular Thursday over here.
Hey, what's up, Talasif? What's up, Talasif? Shout outs to the core gang. Hey, guys, I want to tell you guys this. Yo, big up core gang that we did this, man. I want to thank everybody who was a part of this Nagelsmann propaganda from day one, from the last minute.
Boss,
We got him
you're
out.
gonna regret it.
Hold on.
Regret it.
All right, don't worry. Kiss me, baby. Don't worry. Listen. Thank you guys so much, guys. You know, on my videos, I've always been screaming Nagelsmann out. And we finally got him out. And I just want to thank every Bayern fan who's out there. I will keep posting these things to Oliver Kahn, Brazil, because I am the third. I'm telling you guys this. I am the third general manager in the Bayern team. I'm the third Bayern. Right. I'm the one who decides now. I decide who goes and who stays in. I decide who we sign and who we don't.
Why is he
thank you guys so much. What's that?
Why is he putting Meccano here then?
No, that's what I'm saying. I want him out in the summer. In the summer, he's gonna leave. Don't worry. I got you, right? I got you. Daniel, that's what I'm saying. You have to join my propaganda. And like I said, always tweet Upamecano has to be sold. Upamecano has to be sold. When we get a bunch of people who's on the same minds, I can send these things and plug it into Brazil and Oliver Kahn, and we can get these guys out of here because we don't have time, guys. We need a Champions League. This season, I'm sorry, Bayernfantv, let me tell you something. I know people are saying that, oh, Man City, I understand. Real Madrid, they're not that good this season. They're good, but they're not that good this season. I look at someone like a Man City, they're not that strong either this season.
There is no
I
strong
look
team
at
this season.
there's
Maybe
not a lot
Napoli.
of strong teams. Like Napoli, okay, yes, they're a good team, but with the team that we have, we should be able to beat them.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
like, come on, man. Like, it's not only for the Bundesliga that we made this change. We made this change because we strongly believe that if Tuchel goes up against Pep in the Champions League, he will actually do better than Nagelsmann will. And I strongly believe that. I'm very confident that Tuchel has this. Why would Tuchel take the job if they just like why would he take it? He'll take the job because he knows he has this. He understands how to get the best out of these players, and he did it in Chelsea, and I think he'll do it in Bayern. I'll be honest with you.
All right. So just a quick question, because I've seen this comment, and just to quickly just address a few other comments. Why do you think Nagelsmann was fired? We've kind of come up with a few ideas, but I think there are two credible ones. One, the team just kind of came together and said that then they don't want to play under him again.
Yeah.
And two, sorry.
I think it's either the players came together and said we're not gonna play with him anymore, or it was there were either it was the board who had fights with Nagelsmann over different decisions. That's the two explanation, or it's because of
mole.
the Bundesliga, because we
Nah,
haven't been
it's the
good enough.
mole. He is the mole. That's what it is. Trust me. I know it for a fact. He's the mole. You
Can we
can't
say a
fool
quick
me.
thank you to Bayern legend Xabi Alonso and future Bayern legend Florian Wirtz for sacking this guy on a Sunday?
Hey, absolutely.
Glory, Florian Wirtz, Xabi Alonso. Big up you all, man. Big up you all. You guys did it big, man. You guys did it big.
So, will Tuchel be a villain at Dortmund now? Look, he was a villain at Dortmund already because of his interviews. After he got fired, he basically, made an interview and then, saying that, he wanted Aubameyang to stay. He wanted, no, not Aubameyang. He wanted Dembele to stay, and the club, they just sold him. He wanted other players to stay, like Weigl, and the club just sold him. He can't build something when the club constantly gets rid of its players, and then they kind of launched a back and forth where they said, "Oh, we've done things for him that we've never done for other managers, and he's ungrateful, so on and so forth." So he's already a villain for them. So that's not an issue. Like that's not, will he be a villain? That's not an issue. Like he already was that, and he'll remain that. And you know what? It is what it is. This is an interesting one because I know, Daniel, that you said earlier we're sticking with a back three. I think it was you that said that.
Mm-hmm.
I said
the back four. Yeah.
Who thinks we're going to a back four?
I think we're going back to a back four. And this is the main reason why I think we're going back to a back four. I don't think Tuchel is that stupid to go with a back. I think the reason why Tuchel went with the back three for Chelsea is because if you look at Chelsea, the defenders, the way they play, the plays that they had in their disposal are best used for a back three. You understand what I'm trying to say? But I do think that what he will do is that even if he was to go with a back three, he would get the best out of a Cancelo, who's been out of form lately. I mean, he's been out of form when he was in Man City, but when he came to Bayern, I think he could get the best out of Cancelo. And not only can he get the best out of a Cancelo, but I also think he can get the best out of players like, let's say, Davies, who will also play as a wing back if he was to play that back three. But personally, for me, at Dortmund, he went with the back four, so I think he'll go back to the back four. I think he'll have more freedom to go with the back four. Yeah.
Okay, we've got one back four fanatic, I guess you could say. Anyone else think that we're going back to a back four? Or
I hate the back three. I hate it. 4-3-2-1. That's Bayern's way. That's how we always played. So just plain simple.
I hate this philosophy so much because ever since 2013, we've won the Champions League. We're 4-2-3-1, and suddenly that's like the only formation we're allowed to play. Anything else, and it's absolute rubbish. It's like, come on, we've got a flexibility to play multiple formations.
Yeah, but the issue is, right, if we
Is
go to four at the back,
is the
we don't have
Football
to do this.
Insider a reliable source? Apparently, we're going in for Mason Mount as a
Yeah,
Müller replacement.
Yeah, okay.
Kill me
sure.
right now. Kill me right now.
Sure.
Kill
You
me
don't-
right
You don't
now.
even believe that yourself. Come on.
No, it's not.
If
We're not
this
going for no
happened-
Mason Mount. We're not going.
Mickey Mason Mount, Champions League winner at Bayern Munich 5 times. Let's go.
Look, all right. I'm not gonna say anything, but Mason Mount to Bayern, it's never gonna happen.
We have-
We've got Vanna is better than him. All right.
Yeah. You know what's annoying me? We have no consistent manager since Pep.
Of
No
course not. No.
consistency. I
Pep was
don't
a
know
bomb
why.
too for us.
Can
But
we?
that's the thing. You don't need consistent managers because you look at other teams. I hate bringing them up right now, but Chelsea. You look at Chelsea under Abramovich. They got rid of a manager every single season, and usually for the better. So it doesn't always work out. Of course, you need to get quality replacements, which is exactly what we're doing right now. Quality replacement with Tuchel. And just saying. I just want to say this. The last time Tuchel joined a team halfway through the season, that team won the Champions League that season. I'm just saying. I am just saying, all right? I'm just saying. But yeah, we have to ask the question, right? Because someone else brought it up earlier. What if we go trophyless this season?
That's Nagelsmann's fault. It's not Tuchel's fault. He came in so late. What's he
No,
supposed to do?
it's the board's. It's the board's fault. They
Yeah,
should
it's the
have
board's fault for
sacked
hiring Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann earlier, oder?
Back four. I always love this thought about like Bayern falling out with managers, and I get that. I don't get me wrong, I do get that. But the thing for me, the way I look at it is like this, right? The board members are powerful, not power. Well, okay, they're powerful figures, but they have strong personalities. Any manager for Bayern, like for a club like Bayern, where like winning is expected, and it's the make or break. You need to have managers that have strong personalities as well. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So, like I don't care about the potential clashes as long as for the better. Like Uli Hoeneß and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge famously hated each other, but they did their best because for the good of Bayern, so to speak. So I don't mind clashes as long as they can get their work done, which Tuchel has shown that he's capable of. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. There's a lot of people questioning what's going on, like why is it?
I mean, for those people who are questioning it, can I ask you a question? Like, what do you understand what Bayern Munich means as a club? Like, where we're at?
Do you, Cole? Do you?
I understand what Bayern is. Bayern Munich, the Bayern that I know of, the Bayern that I've watched in recent years, every single season, semifinals minimum. That's all we know. We don't know about quarterfinals exits. We don't know about losing the Bundesliga to teams like Leverkusen and all these other stuff. We don't know about that. So I'm just trying to let the Bayern fans know that are very soft in letting this guy go, that when we ever understand football is when you're watching Bayern, you have to know that, bro, it's just not working. He was never going to work. When he came in, even when you enter the door, I said this guy is not the right manager for Bayern. It was never going to work. And I don't know why you guys are trying to push the agenda that, oh, this future manager, long-term this, long-term that. Long-term managers don't pan out to be successful. Bayernfantv, do you know this? Potter might be sacked. Pep is the only man because he has experience. You get what I'm trying to say? This guy doesn't have experience. He's very inexperienced. Nagelsmann. Potter is inexperienced. He's also going to get sacked. these youth player managers, they're gonna get sacked. They're not that good. I'll be honest with you. So
They're
for
good
me,
depending at the club. Like this job was too big for him to begin with. He should have
it's
taken
too big. It's too like Daniel. Thank you for saying it. It was way too big when he entered. I said it. It's way too big. It's way too big. I'm sorry to say this, but what else can I say? And for me, I understand people are saying, "Oh, why are we going for Tuchel? Maybe we could have gone for Zidane." I understand because maybe Zidane. I would have loved if we stayed and waited for Klopp. I don't know about you, Bayernfantv, but
Klopp is
Yeah,
Klopp
yeah.
would be amazing.
I've
Klopp
always
isn't
wanted
leaving,
Klopp
Sterling.
at Bayern.
Oh,
Klopp would be amazing.
Klopp, I'd take in a heartbeat.
A
But
heartbeat, yeah, but he's not available. That's the thing. You understand?
yeah.
So the best decision at the stage that we're at right now is to go get Tuchel because he did well when he came to Chelsea. And why not? Why not take a gamble? I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be. I'm not saying we're gonna win the Champions League, but again, like you just have to take risks sometimes in life. And if it doesn't work, then hey, then we learn from our lesson. You know. But I know for a fact that this long-term thing was never going to work out for Nagelsmann, and this is the right call. And I'm genuinely happy. Like, thank God, man.
Also, can I just say one thing? We've got 62 people currently watching live. Give the video a thumbs up. It's the most we've had on a live stream since, I believe. Well, it's the most we've had in a discussion live stream, but it's not the most I've ever had. I think the most I've ever had was during the Champions League Final 2020 when we won it. So give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this discussion. Also, if you want to join, just DM me on Twitter. I don't check my DMs that often, but DM me on Twitter and I'll add you to the group, and then you can join if that is something that you want to do. With that said, I do have to bring up one thing, and it's a question to everyone in the room here, and that is this: who is the biggest loser in all of this? Because we've talked about the biggest winner. Who's the biggest loser? I'll start with you, Daniel, and then we'll go to Samasi and then Core, because I feel like Core has talked a lot, so I kind of want to give you two an option to talk as well.
No problem.
I think that if we go to a back four, I think the biggest loser is Pavard because I don't.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't think he'll play him at right back just because of Cancelo and Mazraoui. And we know what Pavard's like. If his mentality hits the shitter, like he's gonna play like shit. He's gonna complain, and we haven't signed him to a long-term contract. If he comes in with a back four, he's done at Bayern, which is sad to see. But I think that's just how it is. I think he'll be the biggest loser if we go to back four. If we stay with the back three, I think the biggest loser is. That's tough. I think biggest loser is. I don't know about if he stays with back three, who would be the biggest loser. But if it's back four, it's Pavard.
Okay. What about you, Samasi?
I think it's Lima. Is Lima still coming?
Yeah.
Still coming? It would be because let's say, do we need the Lima? No. Gravenberg hasn't played any minutes and is more talented than him. We should put that money on a striker, let's face it. So I think it's also Pavard and Lima. Oh my God. It would be hilarious if the transfer doesn't happen.
It would be a dub if it doesn't happen. He sucks.
Cole, what are your thoughts on this? Who is the biggest loser in all of this?
Upamecano.
I'm
telling you, he's not gonna get a minute. That man's not gonna get me, and I'm so happy, bro. I'm so tired of watching. Do you know? Let me tell you something. Upamecano is a Nagelsmann favorite. If you notice that, like
no,
the one player who's so protected.
Center back.
No, but he's so protected. He's so protected under Nagelsmann, bro.
He's had a good season.
No, okay. We say that
he has a good season.
You know what I love about this? You know what I love about this, right? I'm sorry to break this up, but you know what I love about this? Upamecano and Kimmich are the two players that like people either think are the best players in their position or think they're the worst players in their position.
Exactly.
I do get
exactly.
It.
But Bayern,
sorry, all of you continue.
Bayernfantv. Upamecano is a type of player where he loses concentration easy. You understand? He makes silly mistakes. He's not someone who like is very consistent. You understand what I'm trying to say? So my thing is, I'm not saying he's had some good performances. I know there's some good performances he's had, but there's some really bad mistakes, especially when he's passing out the back that he's made. Passing out the back, like the penalty that he gave Leverkusen, those two penalties. No, the second one, that's one of them, and also his what's call it his awareness is also poor. Like I'm sorry, but this is just how it is. Like I think he's going to really him and Musiala, they might not see any minutes in the game. I'm telling you, him and Musiala might not see any minutes, and I'm telling you this right. And this guy too might not see any minutes. Pavard.
Man, everyone's dunking on Pavard. You know what?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That because Pavard cannot play as a right back. He doesn't give you anything in terms of attacking output. When it comes to the three at the back, like when Tuchel goes to three at the back, that's when you can use Pavard. But when it comes to the natural like four at the back, Pavard won't give you anything attacking wise in the right back area. Mazraoui is good in the attacking area as a right back, and then you have players like Cancelo who can also play because he's very good in the attacking aspect. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So these are the three players I think they're not gonna get any minutes under Tuchel. I really think so, and I'm actually kind of happy because
Guys,
they're
I
all
need to
bozo
go.
jeans.
Have fun.
Oh, sorry. They're all bozo jeans, Bayernfantv. Those players are bozo jeans. I'm telling you this right now. They're bozo jean players.
Well. What do we think is going to happen to Chupo? Because I think, what happened to Lima? Well, if he's still coming in, I don't know. But what happened? What is happening to Choupo-Moting? Will he fall off? Will he still play? You know what? I think Kudus will benefit is Muller. I think I've seen a few people mention Muller. I don't know whether this was in response to who you think is the biggest loser in all of this or who you think is the biggest winner. I think the biggest winner in all of this will be Muller. If you look at his stats this season, you know, despite the fact that he's basically played every single game for the most part, his stats are so much worse than they usually are. And you can say, of course, Lewandowski isn't there, but in general, his effectiveness, which is like usually his like standout thing, has just gotten so much worse. How long will the contract be? According to the news, it's 2.5 years. That's what the reports are saying. You know who I think will thrive under this? Musiala. I think Musiala, I know he's been doing very well, but I think he'll thrive even more under the Tuchel signing. Because I think Musiala right now, he's not helped by his teammates. And I think if his teammates get better through the new manager, he's going to be helped naturally. Like he's going to get better naturally because his team is going to be better, if that makes sense. Like it's not going to be so much an individual thing that's going to help him get better, but it's more so a team thing. Like the players around him in the offensive sphere, they're going to get better because let's face it, our attack, we score goals, but like you look at our players up front, right? Choupo-Moting, good form. Like he's basically scoring every game, and he's the reason why we basically win most of the games because he's scoring. Muller, not as good as he used to be. Sané, not as good as he used to be. Gnabry, not as good as he used to be. Mane, not as good as he used to. Like I can go on and on here. Like it's like our whole attack. You can basically say they're not playing well. And then you've got Musiala, a kid. Let me stress this. A kid. And he's carrying our offense, our attack. So I think he's going to get better than like the rest of the season just because the players surrounding him are going to get better. So that's like, I think Musiala is like, he's a big winner of this, not even in a sense that he's going to improve that much more, but just because the players around him will hopefully, I mean, I'm going to say, will surely improve, because they can't really get worse. Like, they can't really get worse. It's basically been Upamecano and Musiala for the most part. And that's scary in a negative sense. So, only way is up, only way is forward. I just don't like the timing of this. Like, I don't like the timing of this. Also, I don't like the fact that, like, Nagelsmann found it out from the news. I think that's a little bit, you know, not scummy, but a little bit sad for him on a personal level, because obviously he is a Bayern fan. But I think decisions must be made quickly. And I think, you know what, if they had a meeting today and they decided on it, then so be it. You know, I just don't like the fact that it was leaked to the news first. I think he should have gotten a call first. But at the end of the day, you know, first and foremost, Bayern is of interest. That's what I care about. If a manager gets, you know, if a manager leaves, then so be it. You know, I'm not gonna cry. That's spilled milk. That's Nagelsmann is already in. I know it's not confirmed, but it's already in the past for me. I'm now looking forward to the future and the present. So, like, I get over managers very quickly, which kind of goes along to a comment that I saw earlier that I'm just going to bring up very quickly. Am I ever satisfied with a coach at Bayern? I can't remember the last time you were happy with one. I very rarely get, like, I'm happy with a manager. Like, I'm always happy when we signed him. And then if I don't like what we're seeing, like, I'm going to switch up. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I wanted this manager at Bayern. Like, for example, Tuchel. I've wanted Tuchel for ever since he left Chelsea. I wanted him at Bayern. But if we don't play, like, obviously I'm not going to, like, say that after one match day. But, you know, after, let's say, as I say, I always give them two training sessions. So, like, the winter training camp and the summer training camp, typically. In this case, I'm going to give him the summer one and then the winter one. So, from the start of 2024, that's when I'm going to be very critical. And if I don't think we're playing well, I'm going to be criticizing him. So that's just kind of the way I roll. Like, I don't really care who the person is. It's the same with the players. I don't care who the players are. You know, people have their favorites. I don't, which makes me an odd Bayern fan, because I used to only support the players, and then I supported the club. Like, I supported Oliver Kahn and I supported Sami Kufur before I supported Bayern. And then you know, I supported Bayern, but now I don't care about the players at all. Like, if we got rid of all the players, I wouldn't care too much, because now I just care about Bayern itself. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know whether that makes sense. Whether people are like that as well. I think most people, they just gravitate towards players and then stick to players, whereas I gravitate towards just the club. Which is why, like, my profile picture, sorry to pick on you right now, Daniel, but it's why my profile picture is just the Bayern Munich badge, whereas obviously other people have, you know, players as their badges, so on and so forth. Because for me, Bayern matters. The people around it don't, if that makes sense. I don't know whether anyone else here shares that sentiment or just disagrees with that.
No, I'd agree. I just like, I like players a lot, so there's always going to be that.
To be honest, this is Bayernfantv. I'll be honest. I only care about the club. Like, the thing about is we have fans who just care about the players and all that. I'm not really about that. I only care about the goodness of the club. The club, we need to take it to the next level. You understand what I'm trying to say? So for me, I like what you said. Like, Sami Kufur is one of our guys. I'm from Ghana. He's one of my favorite players. And I'm sure he was also part of the decision with Oliver Kahn. I'm sure Brazil was also part of it. You know, so probably maybe after the Ghana game, he probably met with them and said, "Oh, you know, maybe we should get rid of this guy." This is just my thing. You know, I think we need to think more about the club than the players. So it's not about, oh, this player wants to play, so we need to play him. Because you notice in the recent months, the problem was players like Sane was upset that, oh, why did you bench me Why did you not play me in certain games? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? You understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
So that in itself, when that happens, it builds a friction between the players and the coach. And the players need a manager who will help them get results, but not only will help them get results, but will actually get them to win something. With this team is good enough to win a Champions League. I'm telling you, I'm sorry. It's good enough to win a Champions League. It's good enough to win a Bundesliga. We should not be losing to uh, um Bayernfantv. I'm gonna ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Ask him as many questions as you want.
Okay. Do you believe that this might have happened because of the result that we had against Dortmund? That was 2-2. Remember when we drew to Dortmund 2-2 and Oliver Kahn was holding his head like this?
No, I don't think it has. I don't think it's one result. I don't think this decision has to do with one result. I think this is just a prolonged, a season-long thing. Like we've not. Yes, we've gotten wins. Yes, we've gotten draws, but we haven't played good enough for a club as big as Bayern and for a club as dominant as Bayern.
Well,
So
the reason he's sacking him,
I don't think a single result is the cause of this.
the reason he got sacked just got leaked by Falk. Pretty much, it was that Dortmund are ahead of us and that they wanted Tuchel for a while. Blah blah blah. Pretty much that.
Oh, okay. So from what they're saying, MiaSanMiaTV is saying that the coach was skiing in Austria on his days off. Is that true? If that's true, then that's probably part of the reason. I guess I'm not sure. I don't know what the reason. Like for me, I don't know what the reason is. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Oh, it's in that thread. It's in the thread. Like the 3 tweets under it.
So I'll just read the thread to everyone that's watching.
Yeah.
Also,
let's read it.
can I just say, Vane29, thank you very much for your support. What's everyone's preferred 11 for City Dortmund? We'll talk about that in a second. Just let us kind of dissect this news, and then we'll head over to our prediction for City/Dortmund. But I appreciate your support very much. Let me just quickly read the thread by Build in regards to this news story. Now, just remember, everyone, that Build were among the first to notice. Fabrizio was first, and then Build was second in the grand scheme of things. So they will have their sources and the insiders on this. So what they say right now is very credible. So let me just read you the thread that was posted by the ever reliable MiaSanMia on Twitter, saying that Julian Nagelsmann was totally surprised by Bayern's decision. The coach was skiing in Austria on his day off. The bosses came to the conclusion that Nagelsmann was mainly to blame for dropping 10 points this year and being overtaken by Borussia Dortmund. Nagelsmann's perfect Champions League record so far did not save him. The international break was the perfect opportunity for the bosses to change the coach. They informed Nagelsmann of the decision this evening. The club's bosses saw that the treble was in danger and decided to act before the upcoming big game, Dortmund and City. In addition, Bayern were afraid that Thomas Tuchel would quickly be gone from the market. The coaching job at Real Madrid could become available in the summer. Tottenham also were interested. The bosses had Tuchel on their sights for several years. Now it's finally happening. So for all those wondering about why it happened, so on and so forth, that seems to be the reason, according to Build. Also, just to quickly address this one, you actually want to talk about Bayern when Chelsea sacked him last season. I think I've seen that same comment being posted twice. Yeah, here right now as well. No, sorry. So it was posted somewhere else as well. Yeah. I want him at Chelsea because Chelsea don't have attackers. Like, they don't have strikers at all. They have Timo Werner, and everyone knows I'm not a fan of Timo Werner. Like, I'll give him his praise sometimes, but I'm like the biggest Timo Werner hater out there. I thought like he was amazing as a winger when I watched him at Stuttgart, and then I watched him at Leipzig, and I was the biggest Timo Werner hater. So I don't rate him at all. I know people think that I'm a hater because I hate everyone, but I don't rate Timo Werner at all. So I didn't think that like Tuchel could do much with Chelsea. When I think of Tuchel, I always think of his PSG side, and most importantly, it's not his mindset or anything, it's the Dortmund side. That Dortmund side under Tuchel played, in my opinion, the best football in world football at that time. For the time that he was at Dortmund, they played the best football. Not, they weren't the best team, obviously, but they played their best football that was available at that time. And we had Pep at that time, and everyone knows I like Pep. I like Pep at Bayern. I was a huge fan of his. Yes, there was a lot of issues as well, but in the grand scheme of things, I was happy. Like, I wasn't Pep out. I was happy. And I still think that Tuchel's Dortmund played so much better. They played such an interesting football that you just had to tune in, week out. Even as a non-Dortmund fan, it was just that good. So Tuchel at Bayern, I've won it for the longest. I've been championing for the longest. And you know what? I got my wish. I got my wish. I am happy. I think I'm not sure what the timing of sacking Nagelsmann and hiring Tuchel. I think it either should have happened earlier or you wait until the end of the season. But I got my wish. 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 Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just so happy.
I'm so happy too. I'm so happy, bro. Alongside with you. It's a great day. It's a great day, man.
Can we just acknowledge though that we paid $25 million for Nagelsmann and we have to pay millions more for
money.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
It's like we said earlier. The Nagelsmann signing itself wasn't bad. It was just too early. I told you. There's only two routes you can go if you get him this early in his career. The first one is you actually keep him for years and just let him develop. And Bayern isn't really a team that does that. And the second route is he's got to get sacked, and that's exactly what happened here. He got sacked because it's too early in his career, and it sucks because he's a Bayern fan. So that if he was more experienced, if he was let's say he had 5 more years in his under his belt, and then he comes to Bayern, you can imagine this going well for a decade plus, but it's too early, and I don't think he's ever going to come back to Bayern now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
No, it's not happening.
It's just the way
it's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. No, but that's what I'm saying. It was too big for him. It was too big for him. We all knew this job was too big for him. Yeah. But maybe he can coach the German national team. I think he will be good with the German national team, if I'm being honest. These type of coaches.
He's too young to be a national team manager. He screams to me like someone that needs to, have a match every single week.
That's true.
Now, you know what? Yassine, I totally understand. Again, I was very much on the Nagelsmann out train for the longest, and I totally understand people that that wanted him to stay. It's like the perfect dream success story. A Bayern fan that couldn't become a player, then becomes a manager at such a young age, and then finally gets his dream job. It's such a perfect story. And you know what? A lot of people like him because he is relatable. He is young, so a lot of people can gravitate towards him a lot more. He's innovative. But I do think at the end of the day, I think it's just too soon. I think there's a reason why managers at big clubs are typically not this young, or and this is the big exception with Zidane, are legendary football players, so that they immediately command respect from all their fellow football players. Because you need to have that respect, and the likes of, look, I'll say it, Neuer. He must be celebrating right now. Neuer must be like, yo, you got rid of Tapalovic. Hey, Nagelsmann, see you later.
I didn't think about it that way.
But to be honest, though, the board are fucking clowns. They gave this manager fucking everything to sack him right now. The board should, hold their heads in shame. You gave this guy everything, and he still fucking failed. So the board takes responsibility, too.
Absolutely. Now, I will bring up this question. Vane, once again, thank you very much. Because we are facing, this is the big thing. We are facing Dortmund soon. We're facing them soon. In what could probably be not the most important game. Well, okay, the biggest single game of the season. And when I say that, I mean obviously Champions League, it's 2 games. So you know what? Fair enough. So the most important single game of the season, we're facing them soon. What's everyone's preferred 11 for that game? It's obviously difficult to say because we don't know how Tuchel is going to play. But you know, I guess the question I'll ask is this, because I already asked this, but back 4 or back 3?
4. No more harm ball. 3 at the back. Fuck that.
What about you, Cor? What about you, Cor?
So for the Dortmund game, this is the players that I want to play. I want it to be back 4.
So both of you went back 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
why don't we try?
My issue is, right, do we have the players for a back 4? Like, do we have the fullbacks for a back 4? That's the issue. Like the thing is, right, how much do you change so quickly? Because my issue is the Dortmund game happened so quickly, and with a lot of the players now at international break and whatnot and playing for the national teams, you know, you can't really just change the whole system immediately. So I think we kind of need to ease it in a little bit. That's my issue.
I agree with what you're saying, just because of that, and I don't think we have the midfielders to do a 4 at the back either. I honestly think he's going to somehow cheese a Champions League win with 3 at the back, but I would prefer 4 at the back. But I think realistically it'll be 3, but I want 4.
Okay, if it's 3 at the back, personally, I think it's going to be. I think we're going to see Muller play. We're going to see Mane play. Mane will play, and then we're going to see Gnabry play centrally. Mane play centrally. Then we are going to see this guy play, Cancelo. Cancelo will play. Gravenberch will play in the midfield with, I believe, Kimmich.
You think Gravenberch will play?
Yeah, I think Gravenberch is going to play. Because we need some creativity. We need someone in that box-to-box player who can, you know, press aggressively and also can, like, you know, give us something attacking wise. So I think Gravenberch will play. And
I don't think he would do it against Dortmund. A big game like that, you're gonna play Gravenberch? I don't think so.
Okay. He might not do it. He might not do it against Dortmund, but I think the Freiburg game, I can see him doing it. Yeah. Davies.
He's a starter, 100%.
Actually, you know what? I think he's gonna bench Davies and he's gonna put Cancelo as a left back. Cancelo's gonna play left back. I think Cancelo's gonna play left back, and then we'll have Mazraoui as the right back. Yeah, and then Gnabry, Mane will play as the 2 strikers with Muller as the attacking mid, and then you would have Coleman at the left wing, and
you're brewing up something. What is he cooking?
Oh man, Coleman, and who else? Who is the other winger? Matthias Tell. I think Matthias Tell will come. Yeah.
He needs more game time. He needs way more game time.
He needs way more game time. This guy Core has no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know what formation you were trying to do, but hey, it is what it is.
Oh, you didn't know what formation? Okay, so for me, my formation would be 4-4-2. That's my formation. But the wingers will be Coman and then Matthias Tell as the right winger, or you could have Coman and Musiala as the right winger, and then the right back would be Mazraoui, left back would be Cancelo. The center backs, I really don't want to play with Upamecano. I really do not want to play with Upamecano, but we have no choice.
Your Upamecano is strong. There's only one other guy that I know who's got a strong Upamecano agenda like you.
I really don't. But I heard Upamecano is good at the back 4 than in the back 3. That's what I heard. So I think Upamecano play back 4. And then who else is going to play? Yeah, I think that. And the midfield will be Goretzka and Kimmich. because we can't play Gravenberch against Dortmund. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, he could play Sane. If you want Sane, then yeah, go ahead. You can play Sane if you want, but don't play him right wing. I don't want to see. I do not want to see Sane as a right winger. I'm sorry. I don't want to see that. I just don't want to see that. It hurts my head. It hurts my head. That's it. Yeah, man.
So just
That's
very,
my
very
lineup.
quickly, very quickly. Eric, I think I probably line up like you do. I think I'd probably line up the same way that you do right here. Although I would for the Manchester City game, I will switch it up, and for the Manchester City game, I'll actually switch Pava for what was my thought right now? I'd switch up Pava for Upamecano because I think you need a little bit of physical presence, which Pava doesn't have as much against someone like Haaland. But I think against Dortmund, I actually quite like your lineup. I just don't agree with it for the Manchester City game because I think you need that physical presence, someone that deals with Haaland. And I know Upamecano historically hasn't done that great against Haaland. But I do think, it is time. It's now or never, basically, if that makes sense. And this obviously assuming that Musiala will not be healthy by then, if that makes sense. But yeah, Daniel, what's your thoughts? What's your lineup prediction?
What I want is 4-2-3-1, but I think what's going to happen is like the lineup that was just mentioned. I just think Upamecano is going to be in there, and then if Musiala is fit, he gets in. But if it was up to me, I think end the season with 3 at the back. The new season switch to 4 at the back. And then, but
the thing is, Upamecano is much better as 4 at the back. You know that, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, we can't transition from 3 at the back to 4 at the back like this and expect us to like win the Champions League. I think 3 at the back is a safe bet. So do 3 at the back till the end of the season, and then rethink everything and go with it 4 at the back starting in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, for me, formations have never mattered. I'll just say it like that. Like, I don't care what formation we play at all. I just think the players that we have right now are more suited to a 3 at the back. Now, will that still be the case in the summer? I don't know. Do you know what? Do you know who the biggest winner of all of this is? Do you know who the biggest winner of all of this is?
Corey.
Do you know who the biggest winner in all of this is? It is a Mr. Blind.
Daily Blind. Yeah.
He's actually gonna play.
Yeah. He might actually get some minutes out here, bro. Get some minutes.
This man, right, in the Dutch league, he had Messi-like key passes. His numbers of key passes were greater than Messi. The only player that had greater key pass numbers than Messi. And he plays as a left back. Now it's finally his time to shine. That's all I'm going to say. It's finally his time to shine. I hope so, at least. Otherwise, it looks too foolish, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just happy about this news. It's been a long time coming, I feel like, but I also didn't believe it.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. The first time I saw it, I was like,
I thought Fabrizio got hacked.
I didn't think that. As I said, I've got like 5 different Twitters, all for different things that I try to keep as separate as possible. So when I'm not feeling football right now, I can just hop on a different Twitter and see nothing related to football. And somehow, like, MiaSanMia, just came on my feed on one of my Twitters that has absolutely nothing to do with football. And I'm like, what? And then I, like, switched Twitter tabs just to check whether it's the real MiaSanMia. And I see the news, and I'm like, okay, immediately. Like, I didn't even take a minute or two out of, like, just to think about it. We just made the stream immediately, the discussion. So, like, so my thoughts kind of just evolved as we were talking because I didn't even have time to process it, basically. At this point, I will say this. Nagelsmann, this is from me personally to you. For what it's worth, it's probably not worth anything to you because you're probably just like sad right now because you are apparently on your holidays and you got fired. Hey, from me to you, right? I wasn't your biggest fan this season. I wanted you out personally because we played atrocious football. Actually, I shouldn't say that in a personal. We played bad football, right? Horrendous football that you were in charge of and responsible for. But at the end of the day, you are a human, and there is a lot of room for growth. Bayern just isn't a club for growth. It's a club to It's a club for immediate results. You know, we're not a team that can afford to give a manager X amount of years just to get better. And the improvements weren't there. It was admittedly a bit too early for you. But hey, I hope everything goes well for the rest of your career. Apparently, you know, Real Madrid are looking for a club. Tottenham might be looking for a club. Chelsea, hey, we don't know how their situation goes. They might be looking for a club. So there are clubs in the market that you can join. Just know that, you know, I hope it all goes well. But I'm happy, man, that you're gone. Just saying.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
The gamer,
Thank
if
God.
you want to join, just send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll send you an.
I gotta join HH's stream though in a couple of hours, couple
Yeah.
of minutes. You gonna
I don't
join?
know how long we're gonna continue going though, because
Okay.
you know I wasn't again. I'm busy. I wasn't planning on doing this emergency hangout.
Yeah.
But you know the news. I saw the news and I just had to. I just immediately had to. So yeah, the game. If you want to join, you can join. But as I said, I don't know how long we're gonna go. We're probably only gonna go for like another 15 minutes or so, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless someone brings up an interesting point. But I'm not necessarily planning on being here too long because I am busy. The news just kind of took me out.
What's wrong with these Bayern fans, man? They're just they a lot of Bayern fans are coming out and telling me like, bro, Core, if Tuchel doesn't do this, this is that. If you're the one who did it, you're the one. I'm like, bro, like, so you really wanted Nagelsmann to stay? Like, can't believe it, man. These Bayern fans, I pray for you all, man. I really pray for you all. I don't think you know how big of a club Bayern is, bro. Like, we demand immediate, like, semis minimum every season. That's Bayern. Semis minimum every season. Like,
yeah, but I get it. Like, I get it. Like, that's what I sort of like. You know, that people have different opinions because at the end of the nah. Oh, I'm sorry. This just completely took me out, right? Let me try and show you my screen because this just took me out.
Oh, is this the picture of him in the Alps or whatever?
Yeah, literally. Like I was just like refreshing Imies and me in case there was like anything new, and there's like just pictures of him on his vacations, of Nagelsmann on his vacation, just enjoying his day today before he got sacked. And it's just like, bro, like this is just brutal.
Is
They're
that him
just
on his
rubbing it
phone?
in.
That's him on his
What?
phone, like looking at the news.
That's just brutal. Oh, he's just there at home, and it's like, yeah, I'm chilling, I'm good, I'm all this, and then like he's just gone. He's just gone, and it's like, bro, where is the humanity? But again, this isn't a person to person thing. I don't have an issue with. I don't have an issue with with Nagelsmann as a person at all. I wish him all the best for the rest of his career. It just, as a manager, it was too soon. It was too early for him at Bayern. And you know what? It is what it is. Jisoo Kim, 18 years, has been contacted by Bayern, Sporting, and City. The way I see it, right, we're going to talk about transfers, you know, at a different time. Actually, no, yeah. You know what? Let's bring it up. Someone brought Mount up earlier, so let's bring it up. You know what? Let's bring transfers up. I don't know how reliable transfer rumors are, because now we've gotten a new manager, so I don't want to like spend too much time on those. But the way I see it, I don't know who's going to come in, because I don't know who's going to perform under Nagelsmann for the rest of the season. So I'm not even going to try and like speculate like, oh, who does he want in? Because we saw with Nagelsmann, he got all his wishes, and that was our, you know, before the season started, we, you know, when we had like a massive discussion, we all said that this was probably one of the best transfer windows we've ever had, and that there are no excuses. That like now he has to deliver. He didn't or hasn't, and now he's gone. Are we gonna continue that same approach for Tuchel in the summer? You know, are we gonna like try and fulfill all of his wishes? Like, oh, I want, you know, this player and that player, then we go out and get this and that player. Like we all knew Nagelsmann, you know, he was a huge fan of Cancelo. We didn't even need a right back. You know, you can't argue that. Yeah, okay, we did, because we didn't know how long Mazraoui would be out, but we didn't even need a player, and we got him because it was Nagelsmann's wish. Are we going to do the same for Tuchel in the summer, or are we going to like take a more, or is the board going to take more of an approach like they have in the past, where it's pretty much just we're going to sign the players, and you as the manager will have to figure out how to deal with that? What do you think, Daniel?
I think that's the way you have to go, because if you give the manager too much power and he gets sacked, you're left with a squad that was built for a specific type of coach, and then the coach after is just fucked. So what they have to do is just stick to the Real Madrid philosophy, which is where stick to one type of play and buy players according to the positions you need, and just keep doing that, because you can't build a team for a coach who may or may not be here, especially Nagelsmann, who's young as fuck with no experience. So what they need to do is just say, hey, look, we have a problem at striker. Either we buy someone or use Tell. We have a problem at DM. You have to buy someone there. Fuck Limer. That guy's in a DM. He was built for Nagelsmann. Fuck that. Don't touch him. See what happens with Cancelo. But they need to build it to where it can be sustainable for the long term and not based on a coach who's going to be here for a finite amount of time.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Core? What's your thoughts on like how transfers should be handled?
I just care about winning the Champions League. I don't even care about transfers because no, I'm serious. Like you could do a transfer and it doesn't go successful. You understand what I'm trying to say? But for Tuchel, I strongly believe that he's not a long-term manager. I believe that we're gonna get another short-term manager. I mean, we're gonna get a long-term manager, which is Jurgen Klopp, after he leaves Liverpool. So I don't see Tuchel as the long-term manager, but I think he's good for the now, because with the players we have right now, with the players we've signed, I think he can do something with them. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. This one I just found funny. Because this was on February the 7th, so a month and a half ago. Bayern will pay a fee in the mid-range of 6 digits to Hoffenheim for goalkeeping coach Michael Rechner, the 42-year-old who is close to Julian Nagelsmann. Well, so much for that, eh? So much for that, eh? And you know what? I love it. You know what I see right beneath that? You see the comment by Cross? Julian really is getting every wish fulfilled. It's crazy. Feels like Guardiola and City. He is right. And he didn't deliver. He didn't deliver. And that's always been the big criticism, that if you're going to get all your wishes fulfilled, you have to deliver. There are no excuses. Now, with that said, we're not lacking in any area except the striker area. I agree. But I also think that that can be solved by an intelligent manager. So, a manager that has seen it all and done it all, basically. But I do agree that we need a striker. That's pretty much our only true weakness. Now, why not Zidane for manager instead of Tuchel? Core? Actually, you know what? I'll go to that because I know, Core, you've got a lot to say about this, because I know you wanted Zidane at Bayern. I think that was your first option. Daniel, what do you think about that? Why didn't Bayern go for Zidane instead of Tuchel?
I wanted Zidane so bad. He was my favorite, because I only give a shit about the Champions League, and he won 3 in a row. But honestly, I know for a fact it's because he can't speak German. That's just why. But
yeah,
because I can't
agree.
see any other
I agree.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted him so bad. It kind of hurts because I really thought they would look at him more, but it's whatever. Tuchel's good enough.
What about you, Mount? I know you were like even like in preseason last year, you were like saying, "Oh, just get rid of Nagelsmann and get Zidane." What are your thoughts on it?
No, Zidane would be good because with the 4-3-3, I think it fits. With Bayern, I would say that a lot of our attacks come from the wings. You understand? So we'll get a lot of productivity from the wings, and our wings will be much more effective with Zidane. But I think the problem, and I knew it wasn't going to happen, was because he doesn't speak French. I did a series on this on my channel, and I said, I
In
believe
general.
that the manager to replace Nagelsmann is Thomas Tuchel because I think Tuchel he speaks German. He's the option that's available right now. Zidane, although he's won the Champions League and so forth, and he's kind of like a 3-year type of manager, I I don't I think the reason why he did really well at Real Madrid was because of him having the players such as Marcelo, Cristiano Ronaldo, and having those services around him. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
And I just don't think he can do something with this Bayern squad because he doesn't have a striker, number one. And number two, he doesn't have that star-studded player like Cristiano Ronaldo in Bayern. Bayern, it's not all the players are good. You understand what I'm trying to say? So
Yep.
yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I think as Daniel said, I think it's really just because he doesn't speak German. Like you can't bring in a manager halfway through the season, like towards the tail end of the season, really, that doesn't speak the language. Like you sort of need a voice in the team like right away. And that's kind of what Tuchel will be able to present, and that's why I think we're gonna go for Tuchel. Oh, well, that's why we are going for Tuchel. I mean, it's based, short of like an official confirmation from Bayern. All the credible sources have basically confirmed that, so it is happening. Like that's not a question anymore at this point. It's a guarantee. I also personally, I always prefer Tuchel because I don't like how Zidane's team at Real Madrid played. And yes, you can always mask playing with results, but for me, as I always stress, like for me, and this is just personal, right? This is personal, but for me, our playing style is the most important thing. Like that's the number one important thing. If we play, as I always say, you can play well, you can play successful football, but if you're not playing good football, the successful football eventually just isn't successful. But as long as you play good football, you're going to be successful eventually. So that's how I always look at football. Like if you play well, you're going to get results. Like you're not going to play well and not get results. You can get results sometimes if you don't play well, but 9 times out of 10, if you play well, you're going to get results. So first and foremost, what's important to me is that we play well consistently somewhat. And that's kind of, what I want with Tuchel. Zidane is the exception. Like I said this, Zidane is the exception because his Real Madrid team was awful. I hated watching them, and back then I was a lot more interested in football. A lot more interested in watching football from other clubs. I was watching I was watching the Dutch league. I was watching the Belgium league. I was watching leagues that people probably don't give a rat's about. Just to keep it friendly. I was watching leagues that people don't watch because I was just that high on football. And Real Madrid, I couldn't watch a single game because they were so bad, but they would still win. And that's why Zidane is like the exception to it all. Same with Ancelotti. Those two managers are the exception to it all. That can play absolutely terrible football that is so stupid and it somehow works. And I don't understand it. With Tuchel, I can see it and I can understand it. Like we play good football, I can understand it. So that's why I want a Tuchel. That's all it is. That's all it is. All right. We won't go into like rumors and transfer rumors, so on and so forth. Because again, I don't think it's wise to do that because we're literally just right now focusing on this season and right now focusing on what we can do to finish the season well. As we said, if that is the case, then so be it. At this point, he's there to try and help it. He isn't going to be a miracle fixer, but I do think that like the season isn't over. Like, don't write us out. Like, even if we lose, let's say we lose against Dortmund, which we won't. like we're not going to lose against Dortmund. Look, I'll be the first to say it, right? Even with Nagelsmann, and again, people know I didn't like Nagelsmann. Even with Nagelsmann, we would have beaten Dortmund. It doesn't matter who we play, who the manager is for that Dortmund game. We're not going to lose it. And there are 2 reasons for that. 1, Dortmund are terrible under pressure, and right now the pressure is on them. And 2, this team, when it motivates itself, it's unstoppable. So, like especially at home, Dortmund isn't going to do anything. So, like, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the league. I think Champions League is different. But again, if we lose both, okay, it's a terrible way to start, but it's a start. We'll see, obviously, where it progresses and how it goes, but it's a start. That's the key thing. It's a start. Anyway, with that said, Daniel, do you have any last thoughts? Because otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up.
That's it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being here. I know it was kind of impromptu. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this, and I do appreciate all of you, tuning in. One last thing, if you can do, everyone that's watching, just give the video a thumbs up. It'll help it being found more later on when it's live on YouTube. With that said, I'm so glad, because like I've wanted to make more videos. I really have. I've wanted to make more videos, and I didn't want to make a video after Leverkusen because, as I always say, I don't want to make videos that are just purely negative. And like all my videos in like the past few months would have been purely negative because I thought we were just that awful. So that's why you've not really seen me. Like that was one of the main reasons why I've not really been making videos, because I don't want to make just rant videos. It's not my style. And now I can be happy. Now I can be happy. Now I feel good again. I feel invigorated again. I feel revitalized. I feel revived again. I'm just here now. I'm just like, yeah, let's do this. The season is on. It's all, we're ready to rock and roll. And you know what? Hey, you are very much right. I know this news will make you happy. Hey, it really has. Now, I just want to say again, thank you everyone for tuning in. It's just an hour and a half. Not, we've obviously had longer discussions in the past, but for an impromptu one, I do appreciate everyone tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. I don't know, you might see a video from me tomorrow, actually, just in regards to Tuchel. Just kind of like, just my general thoughts after I've had a little bit of time to digest it. But yeah, Nagelsmann is sacked. Tuchel has been hired. A lot of people are on one fence or the other. A lot of people are very happy. A lot of people are very disappointed. As you all know, I'm very happy. But I will also got to take into consideration the people that are disappointed right now, and we got to take their thoughts into consideration as well, because again, he was a beloved figure for many people. So I'm not really surprised that a lot of people are sad, but I'm happy. I'm happy. Right. Rat fan says, I was unsatisfied and Nagelsmann wanted to Tuchel for a long time, but still very surprising. Classic FC Hollywood, I guess. Yeah. Just when you think it's quiet, just when you think, you know what, the club is backing him. They constantly said they're backing him. Even like 2 weeks ago, they came out and said, no, we're backing him regardless of what happens. Yeah, so much for that. So much for that. One bad Leverkusen result and he's gone. He is gone. You'll start firing again. And what a spirit you got, mate. Hey, it just feels great. It just feels great. It feels like I'm alive now. It feels like, I was hanging by a thread, and now suddenly I'm just like, wait, what? What? I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm not hanging by a thread anymore. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see all of you next time. Until then, have a good one. From me and Daniel. Peace out. Cheerio. Arrivederci. Ciao. Auf Wiedersehen. And sayonara. Bye.